Hello YouTubers, fellow hams, RV nomads, whoever else might be watching. Watching? Oh, it's early morning. I've just had my coffee, but I'm not quite awake. I haven't done one of these thoughts on the road in a little while. I usually do them before I move, and I moved up here to Kingman over a month ago, so I think I'm a little overdue, but I really didn't know what to talk about. It's coming up on summer. It's finally warm. I was so tired of being cold. It was a chilly season this last winter, but we're finally getting up where the temperatures are up in the 80s Fahrenheit. And we're going to be starting to hit the 90s soon, and probably triple digits in another month. So, summertime in the desert. Yeah, what am I going to talk about? Well, what's been going on? Summer is here. I'm not planning on doing any traveling this summer. Last summer going up to Oregon was a bit of an adventure. I really don't trust the RV. It's old. It's a 2009 model with over 115,000 miles on it. The place I bought it from didn't take very good care of it, and it has a lot of dry rot in the walls and wood. Mechanically, the engine's running okay, the transmission and everything's okay, but it's old, and it's getting rickety, it's making a lot of noise. And that last trip, over 1,000 miles up to Oregon and over 1,000 miles back, was a little trying. And myself, my health is, as I've mentioned, is in decline, and my endurance is getting worse and worse. Coming back from Oregon last summer was very, very hard. I could manage about 3 to 4 hours at a time on the road, but that was pushing it, and it's just getting harder for me to do that. So with all those factors, I'm not really planning on making any trips this summer. I think I'm just going to sit here in Kingman and get through the summer until it's time to move south again. So some of you might be disappointed in that, but yeah, I don't know what to say. I need to just take care of myself. So that's what I'm going to do. Kingman, I'm up here at Jeannie and Tony's place. A couple of friends I made a couple of years back when I first went down to Yuma. And real good friends. And they've got a nice place here. Lots and lots of room. As you can see, it's very spread out. We're up on a hill overlooking Kingman, which I think I've got a picture somewhere here that shows it. It's way down there in the valley. And that is downhill. It doesn't look like it from the drone shot up in the air, but that's downhill. I'm overlooking Kingman. At night, we can really see the lights of Kingman there. In fact, I took a neat picture I want to show you. I'm just going to show you some of the media that I've been shooting in the last few months, some of the different things I've seen. So Kingman at night is really something. All the lights, and I haven't been able to get a good picture of it, but I did take a picture using the astrophotography mode of my Google Pixel 4 phone that I have. Here's a picture of the sky with my antenna mast. There was no moon. It was really dark. I could hardly see the mast with my eyes. And this shows you how well this phone does when it goes to taking pictures of stars. Well, I spun it around and shot across Kingman using the same mode. And it takes several images over 4 minutes and has an AI algorithm built in that then stacks them, which means it takes all the images and it stacks them up and adds up the photons that were captured and creates an HDR image. And this is the picture, and it really shows you the light pollution that a city kicks off at night. You can still see the stars up there in the sky, but look at that bubble of light from Kingman. This is a really cool picture. I'm kind of happy with that one. We get windstorms too. It's been a very windy season. Even the winter down in Yuma, we'd have some pretty windy days. But up here on the hill, we don't go through a week without 1 or 2 days of 20 to 30 mile an hour winds. As you can see from this video clip that I used in a recent video, the wind really gets to howling. And in fact, today we've got another windstorm just starting up. It's, what time is it? It's about 10 in the morning, 9 in the morning. About 9 in the morning, and the winds are already exceeding 20 miles an hour. So today's going to be another windy day. Dust devils come through. I've got to capture some video of one of those to show you guys. They're like mini tornadoes. They're pretty cool. So yeah, it's been windy, dusty, and it's going to be that way for a little while, and then the heat's coming. I keep getting questions from some of the guys that know about my air conditioner. The air conditioner up on the RV failed last year. It's a mechanical failure with the compressor. It runs for about 10 minutes and then the compressor overheats and it dies. And I ran across a couple of rooftop units, but I really don't want to mess with it. The roof on this thing is that thin rubber coating. It's old. If I mess with anything up there, I'd have to paint the roof or do something to make sure I don't induce any leaks. And it's not leaking right now. So I really don't want to mess with the roof. What I've done is I've ordered a portable air conditioner, an 8,000 BTU unit that sits inside, doesn't have to be put in a window. I don't have to cut any holes or modify any windows. It just uses a vent hose that I can feed to the existing window next to it. And 8,000 BTU, it's about 850 watts, which is around 7 amps a draw. So I can safely feed it from the plastic outlets in this RV. The power outlets in these RVs are plastic, and they're supposed to be rated for 12 amps, but I have seen in person previously, when I was down in Texas, I saw where somebody's outlet had melted. They put a little over 1,000 watt space heater on it, and the whole thing had melted and just dripped down. it was ugly. But I have run a 900 watt space heater in here that first year when I was down in Texas, and the plug, when I felt the plug, you could just barely tell that it was above ambient. I mean, it just got very, very, very slightly warmer. Not really even warm, you know. Just so I know I'm safe at that power level, so the air conditioner will work, and I think that'll get me through the summer. Yeah, it should definitely get me through the summer. So I think my plans are going to be just to sit here at Tony and Jeannie's place for the summer, get through the summer, and then get ready to head south and join up with the Rat Pack down around Yuma again for the winter. And we'll just try to keep coming up with projects to do here. I am plugged into AC power here, so I can use the 3D printer, and I've been thinking about what I could do with that. I want to do another 3D printing video, but most of my videos are me solving my own problems or building something that I need, you know, and I'm just sharing that with you guys. I don't want to get into doing projects just for the sake of doing projects, because then I'll end up with a ton of stuff. And living in an RV, I don't have a lot of room for my stuff, so I got to keep my stuff to a minimum. So anyway, what else has been going on? Oh, I finally saw a rattlesnake. I've been looking for them. For over 2 years I've been tootling around the desert, and I've been looking for a rattlesnake. I wanted to see one in person, and I finally saw one. It was crossing the road, so we stopped and got out. And I shot a little video clip. I did stand well back from the snake. The camera is zoomed in, so don't be worried. I was well out of his strike distance. In fact, I had to really move around a lot to get its attention even. I wanted to get a rattle out of it, but I got a hiss out of it, but its rattle was broken. So I finally saw a rattlesnake. This is a western diamondback rattlesnake. Pretty cool. What else have I done? Well, I shot some media with the drone when I got here, so you can really see how spread out things are up here. This is like a residential area in Arizona outside of the city. Kingman's only about 2.5, maybe 3 miles away. So this is a neighborhood outside of the city. You can see how spread out people are. And there's Jeannie's horse, Bran. He wanders around the property during the day, and he'll follow me around like a dog sometimes, or getting a good scratch. Or if I go outside and I'm eating an apple, he'll definitely come over to get the apple core from me. So yeah, it's really spread out. I took the drone across the way, valley, down the valley towards Kingman there, just to show you the expanse of the desert here. It's different. Every place is different. This area is more sandy. Down south, Quartzsite and Yuma is more rocky. You can definitely see though, it's just room. There's so much room out here. And those that look like bushes in the desert there, those are actually trees. They're about 12 to 14 feet, or about 4 meters tall. So it looks like they're bushes, but those are actually trees, just to give you a sense of scope. So again, just a big, broad, spread out area. I love the space. I don't have agoraphobia at all. Agoraphobia is the fear of wide open spaces. I enjoy that. In fact, when I go into town now, or when I go into a city, I feel very claustrophobic. There's just so many people, and it's so, you know, crammed in. Houses are right next to each other, and it just, I don't like it anymore. I've gotten used to this place, to these spaces, this wide open space. I did get the antenna farm up, as you saw in the wind video. I got the mast up. Radio, I've been playing a little bit. I need to do some more. Projects, though, I need to come up with some stuff to build. I'm thinking about building an egg beater antenna to see how much better that is for copying satellites versus using a vertical antenna like my Slim Jim. So I might do that, copy a few satellites, maybe try to work a satellite or two with it. That's on the list. I don't have really any other big antenna projects planned. I mean, I've explored a lot of antennas. Some people want me to build a Moxon, and it's in the back of my mind. I might, but again, if I build something, I have to carry it, and I'm just out of space. So I don't know. There's another antenna that somebody pointed out to me called a hentenna, H-E-N, hentenna, which looks like a small square loop that's fed at a point about a third of the way around its diameter for 6 meters, or I guess you could make it bigger for other bands. Might try to build one of those just to take a look at it, get a feel for it, see what it's about. Other than that, I don't know. I've been kind of in a lull. I got here to Kingman, and now I'm getting ready to settle in for the summer, so I've kind of just sort of, just tried to relax a little bit. Stress I don't handle stress too well anymore. And what else? I'm loving the System 7.6 laptop. Having a machine that's and an OS that's been built to integrate with the hardware perfectly. It's a great laptop. It's working out beautifully. Lots of power. And I've been playing around with some software things. Yeah, I don't know. If somebody has something that they would like me to talk about as far as Linux and ham radio, let me know in the comments, and I might take a few of those suggestions and do something for you. Be reasonable, though. Every time I get a comment from somebody saying, "Hey, why don't you build a 20-meter beam?" Where would I put it? I'm not going to build a 20-meter beam. Be reasonable. Think of a guy living in an RV, limited resources, limited space, and limited weight capacity. So bear that in mind if you're going to make a suggestion. But I do read through all the comments. I don't respond to them all. There's just so much. And every now and then I get something where somebody talks to me via email, via messenger, via whatever, and they've talked to me before and I don't remember. And I've sort of got the gist from their text that they got a little upset about that. I try, guys. I really do. I try. But there's so many of you. I sit down and spend over an hour every morning just going through comments and emails and, all the other things associated with the channel. And I've got an old brain, a diminishing old brain, and I just can't keep track of hundreds of people. I try. I really do. And I read all the comments. I don't respond to all of them, as I said, but I do read them. I spend time every day going through them. So forgive me if I didn't treat you as warmly and personally and human as you wanted me to, but you're one of 1,000 people that talk to me every month, and I just can't keep track. It's kind of outside of the scope of the way my mind works. I'm a hermit. I'm a guy that, until I started doing this YouTube thing, I stayed to myself. I'd go outside and talk to my neighbors or go for a walk around the neighborhood and meet people, but I'm not the guy that goes to the bars or goes to the parties or likes to be around big crowds. I'm very uncomfortable in those situations. Right now I'm talking to a camera, a single lens. I know that hundreds or thousands of people are going to see this, but that's just an intellectual realization. It's hard to explain. I'm an introvert living a partially extroverted life, and I cope with it. I'm kind of like Sheldon on The Big Bang in a lot of ways. I get really uncomfortable when YouTube changes their interface or Facebook changes their interface. I absolutely hate that because then I got to relearn things, and it's like I'm a creature of habit, you know. Kind of like Sheldon, but maybe a little more personable. And I understand things like satire and humor. Bazinga. Anyway, I'm rambling again. I'm sorry. So, yeah, there was probably a few other things I wanted to mention that I just can't think of right now. But basically, that's what's going on. Not going to be doing much traveling this summer. I would like to go back east and visit my friends and family and maybe somehow stop in the middle of Texas and visit my son. I haven't seen him in 2.5 years. I'm just not sure how I'll do it. I definitely couldn't drive that far now. I wouldn't make it. I'd probably pass out and go off the road. So maybe if things work out, I'll hop the Amtrak and ride the train across the country and rent a car when I get over there or something. It's in the back of my head too. If I do go back east, I will definitely take a go kit of some type, a radio, battery, antenna, and do something when I get there. Throw a wire over a tree in a friend's backyard or something, you know, and maybe do some kind of a video along the way or a travel video or something. I don't know. So, yeah, one way or the other, some media will pop up. And I know some of you guys don't like these thoughts on the road. I know some guys from comments, they're like, you know, anything that you do that's not an antenna video is a waste of my time. And I'm like, well, don't watch it. I put the subject right there in the title of the video. Skip that one. Don't know what to tell you. It doesn't say the Old Tech Guys Ham Radio channel. I don't just do ham radio. In fact, I've got a lot of interests, and it's mostly the ham radio is what I put on here because that's most of the audience. You know, but there's probably guys that want to see other things too. And I could make another channel and then try to grow it over years, but I don't know. Lots of stuff to think about. Okay, I'm rambling. Anyway, I just wanted to chat with you guys this week and just sort of let you know, share some media with you and let you know a few things that were going on. If I have any media that I shot that I forgot to mention, I'll put it here at the end of the video. So there might be a few things following if you're still here. If anybody managed to stay this long with my rambling, meandering, not scripted chat, there'll be some more stuff here probably at the end because I'm sure I'll think of something I wanted to show. Anyway, we'll see you in the next video. I'm not sure what it'll be yet. I'm working on that right now. Bye.